That is what it is doing. It is stripping away the melanin of your hair. So it's gonna be brittle. I won't say automatically. If you, all right, y'all, all right, I had to get a little close. We're gonna get a little personal this time because this is extremely important. Now, the health of your scalp and the health of your locks. So we're gonna go ahead and start out with number one for this category. Number one is, I need you to realize that water is your number one moisturizer. Before you are slapping anything else on your locks, I don't care if you got the best grade A oils in the world. Before you put them oils on your hair, you better put some water on it. Like, if you're just putting the oils on your hair, you're pretty much just putting a nice little top coat of oil on your locks. The water is what's going to provide your locks that moisture, and the oils and things like that, it's what's going to seal in that moisture. Yes, they have their own benefits and properties, and boy, are they very beneficial. But I'm telling you, like, those are sealants. They are supposed to seal in that moisture, as well as fix the damage and fix the lackluster and penetrate your scalp and stimulate growth. Like, they have all those other properties as well. But step number one is that you need to realize that if you do not use water before you're moisturizing, you're not really maximizing your benefits. You're not doing much. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, this is at the top of the lock list. My last set, boy, I was a hot ass mess. I don't know if you guys realize how important it is to moisturize your locks, but it is so important. Like, it'll be something that you really regret. Like, that was one of my regrets for my first set, because I felt like my locks were so dry, and me personally, I feel like there was no coming back. Now, I'm sure people will look at my locks and they'll be like, oh, you know, your hair was healthy, your locks were healthy. But for me, I didn't feel that way. So luckily, I have thicker locks. In my last set, they were very thick as well, because I feel like if I had some thin locks, they'd have been on the floor. Prevention of your loc journey is just always going to be so much easier than you trying to remedy or you trying to fix things. So just start from the beginning and just keep in mind that yes, you have locks, but that does not mean that you don't need to still be taking care of your hair the same way that you were taking care of it before. But if you wasn't doing that, then do better. Hey, moving on. Let me pick up the wire. Like, it's really that long. Like, I need to pick it up. All right, y'all, moving on. So next on the list, using natural products if you can. I'm not here to judge y'all, and I'm not here to judge anything that anybody uses, but I will tell you this. Don't you go in that store and buy 5,000 different Jamaican mango and lime products. None of that. Go in there and buy you 2 or 3 good oils. Some good oils or something like that. But not everything that's for locks should be used on your locks. Some products cause buildup, beeswax. Don't use no beeswax on y'all locks. Speaking of bees, I went to go see Candyman yesterday, and it was good. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, the natural products. So if you can use some natural products, I know there's a really good brand. I've been saying Talia Waheed. She has some really good products. Whenever I retwist or anything like that, all I use is oils and rose water and aloe juice and coconut water, things like that. But I do have the one product by her, which is the Lock It Up cream. It's not anything thick. It's made out of natural products, and it's really good, but I've only used it twice. Bottom line is, you want to make sure that you're mindful of what you are using in your locks. Please just don't go to the beauty supplier online and just buy anything that you see for locks. Like, just do a little bit of research and be mindful of what you're putting in your hair, because buildup will be caused. Hearts will be broken. You don't want it to be yours. So you can get just as good as a retwist with flaxseed gel if that's what you want to do, aloe gel. Like, you don't need any super tight, thick creams or gels or anything like that for your locks. Like, stay away from all that. Stay away from it, okay? Make sure it's 100% natural, 100% pure. Okay? Next. Do not put a whole bunch of stuff in your hair. It's completely unnecessary. And do you want that buildup or not? honestly, I don't know how else to say that. Like, I'm telling you, your locks are going to reward you in the most beautiful way possible if you just realize that they are extremely minimum, but the minimum needs to be done. That's the thing about it. Just make it easy on yourself and just get you a couple things that work really well for your hair. Yes, you can have more stuff and switch out, whenever you feel necessary, but at one time, don't use no whole bunch of stuff. Like if you're using a bunch of oils, creams, things like that, your hair is going to be saturated and it's not going to have time to kind of dry up and tangle up with each other. It's always going to be slipping around and your locks are probably going to end up unraveling as well. And also the other thing about using too many products or really heavy products or heavy oils is lint. That stuff will attract lint, and we haven't gotten to that yet, but lint in the loc community, we all know, or if you don't know, you're gonna learn how that is. So I won't get too into that, but all I'm gonna say is watch yourself. Watch yourself. And even when you think you're watching yourself, watch it even harder. Okay? Dyeing and bleaching your locks. I am guilty. I haven't done it this set at all yet, but my last set I dyed and bleached after 5 early fresh months. Early. I would tell you to not ever bleach your locks. It's pretty, you can do so much with it, and yes, we want that vibrant pop of color, but the damage that it does, it just may not be worth it. And I say that because when you are bleaching your hair specifically, you're literally stripping and you're damaging your hair's melanin. That is what it is doing. It is stripping away the melanin of your hair. So it's gonna be brittle. I won't say automatically. If you really take care of your hair, that's the thing about all this. But you really just want to leave your hair alone for that first year. But I know how some things are, you want that color, I know how it can be. So I'm ready to dye my hair for my birthday next month. If I was to dye it, first of all, I'm going to use Adore dye. I'm always going to recommend Adore dye because it is vegan, it's natural, it's a semi-permanent, it's not harsh at all. Not at all. Just be mindful if you do want to bleach or dye your hair. Like I said, you should wait. But if you take care of your locks, then hey, get you that red, that purple, that blue, that green. So moving on. I don't really have much to say for this one, but I do need to throw it out there. Don't be dry twisting your hair. Don't be sitting here throughout the day twisting it, like at the roots, twisting. I guess I can do it for demonstration. This is not something that I do at all. But don't be just dry twisting your hair, or even if you are doing it yourself, like if you just wash your hair and then you let 18 hours go by and now you're ready to retwist after you done watched a whole series of shows and you done ate dinner, breakfast, lunch, breakfast, all that, and now you ready to retwist, you better go wet that head again. That's what I do. When I be taking my sweet ass time to retwist, I will go wet my head again. Do not be dry twisting your hair. First of all, it's pulling, it's causing tension, it can cause thinning. Just don't do it. You ain't supposed to do it. Okay, we're gonna move on. All right, you guys, so I got to get back up close and personal for this one. So moving on to 2 super important tips. These go hand in hand together, so I'm going to put them together. This one is wearing a bonnet or a scarf or both / lint. Didn't I tell y'all we was gonna come back to this? All right, so you want to make sure you put your bonnet or your scarf on. Like men, y'all need to be doing the same thing too. Cover your hair up at night. Like it is so important. Like when I tell you, like I know in life, you hear a lot of things about, oh, prevention is easier than fixing the issue or correction. This is one of those things where that is 100%. My last set, I wanted to cry sometimes because of lint. Like when I tell you, I have literally completely like damaged and pulled off and just broken up certain parts of my locks in my last set. Like I would literally see some lint and I would go in and I would pick and pick and pick and pick and pick until it was nothing there. Like it would be a hole or just like I would damage the lock. So that's the thing about lint. You're not gonna like the answers that you're gonna get from the lock community about what to do. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because the answers that you're gonna get, you got 3 of them. So number 1, they're gonna tell you to just dye it. Just dye your hair, because you can't see it, you're not gonna know. Or they're gonna tell you to do a apple cider vinegar rinse / detox, which may get it out, but it may not. Okay. And then also kind of just like gently pick it out. Now, I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't. Like I said, that's something that I personally did, but I wouldn't advise it. Lint is kind of like a thing in the Loc journey that you kind of just have to get over. Like, not get over, but just know that you're going to deal with lint regardless. Now, the next tip that I have as far as lint is to shake your hair out. This is also something that really bothered me with my last set. Like, when I would be sitting in the car, like if I just moved my hair, I would see floating around everywhere, and I'm like, what is that? Like, does anybody else have this problem? But I just, like, that's something that's kind of was like embarrassing. So I was like, I don't know, like, does anybody have that problem? Like, why am I seeing all these articles flying around? What is this? I'm gonna give y'all a real good shake, because and let me challenge y'all to something. I want you to humble yourself, and what I want you to do is I want you to go stand in front of a window during the daytime. You need a little sunlight so you can see some so I don't know if you'll be able to really see it just because of where I'm standing at. So I go through and I literally just shake my hair. And then I'll go down them and I do this. Like, y'all can't see all the stuff floating around, but I can. I sure can. But I challenge y'all, like, for real, go in front of your window and you will see. I will do this for a good few minutes, like, telling y'all, like, y'all will not realize the things that are just lingering, just chilling inside your head until you do that. I can't see this little eye string, but yeah, just like little stuff will be floating around, you'll never know it. So yeah, just shake your hair out, okay? Doing too many styles or wearing too much Loc jewelry in the beginning. Now, I know I'll be sitting on here and I will lie right to y'all faces and tell y'all that I don't be doing styles a lot. So I really don't do a lot of styles, but I clearly love my buns and I love my ponytails, okay? First of all, this don't get wrapped more than once. This gets wrapped, it don't get wrapped at all. It gets put on and that's it. The thing about doing too many styles or wearing too much Loc jewelry in the beginning is doing too much. Like, in the beginning, first of all, you're already gonna have enough lumps, you're already gonna have enough bumps. So with you going in and you're wearing tight styles all the time, you know, or wearing too much Loc jewelry, you're going to be causing extra impressions on your hair, and it's completely unnecessary. Like, the first year of your Loc journey is the prime time for them to be forming into what they need to form into. Wearing too many styles, too much jewelry, that can cause flatness, that can cause holes in your locks, and it's just all around causing extra impressions that you really don't need. So in the beginning, I'm telling you guys, it's the prime time for your hair to be forming the way that it needs to be forming. So if you can minimize your styling, minimize your Loc jewelry, you're doing yourself a huge favor. If you do want to do styles, do not leave them in super long, and also do not do them super tight. Okay, that's that. This Loc journey is not for the weak, but I am here for you guys. You know that. Part 3 is right here on the screen. I will be coming to you guys with some great tips to keep your mind right, keep your head in the game. Okay, don't let this Loc journey beat you. It's supposed to be beautiful. We're gonna talk about it. See you in part 3.